What's going on, world? For those who don't know me, my name is Eric Seals. I'm a director and DP, and super excited to talk today about this branded series that I got to film. Have always wanted to talk about it because it was a unique experience for me, and it was one of my first. And I want to share some of the things that I did well, along with some of the things that I could do better next time. So this project was for Amazon, and it was through a production company called Tastemade that I was working with. And the beautiful thing about getting that connection with a production company, once you do well for them, they're going to think about you for many other opportunities. And so for this opportunity, it was a series that they partnered with Amazon and a local talent. Her name is Kalisa Marie, who's a cook. And they wanted to incorporate their different Amazon products with Kalisa's life and the things that she does.
Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
Let's talk with the crew. The crew was a great size. So we had a grip, gaffer, we had audio, there's a makeup artist, we had a set designer assistant, cam op, AC, and then there was 2 producers. I don't think I'm missing anybody else. So it was a nice size crew. These projects have a particular look that they were going for. And so they had shared several different examples with me for other clients and other projects of what they wanted to mimic. And so whenever someone does that for me, I like to ask them, do we want to mimic 100% of what they did, or do we want to put our own spin on it? Thankfully, they wanted to have their own version of it with my input, and that's one of the reasons that they brought me on.
Hands held high, raise them up to the sky, never let them low, only thought you should know. Hands held high, raise them up to the sky, never let them low.
The first day for this project was getting equipment in. We were doing some filming, but the main thing was to get the place set up. We had I think it was a 3 or 5 ton grip package that was parked in the driveway and had everything that we needed in there. Thankfully, this location had a garage that was empty, and so we used that to house all our gear and the stage. We had 2 C300s going throughout the project, and it was a mixture of handheld, easy rig, Dana dolly, and tripod. Depending on what the situation was, me and the second cam would go back and figure out what was best for each shot.
Roll 9, scene 103, for A, take 8.
So the way that we filmed this was we want to utilize each room once. So we had several different cooking scenes, but each one of those cooking scenes were going to be in different episodes. Same thing with the bedrooms. Same thing with the living room. At one point we had to make it look like Christmas in the middle of the day. And so we use each room once, and then the talent would change their clothes and we would change lighting setup. The positive about that is once you're done using that room, you can now put gear and other things in there. You don't have to worry about it being used for a future scene. So that was very helpful.
Roll 1, scene 101, 1B, take 2.
I think one of the first scenes we did was the bedroom, and we had to do a nighttime routine. The thing is, we were in an actual house, and now I see why people use fake houses or sets to recreate a lot of these things, is because you don't have enough room in a traditional home to get behind, a door, a wall. And so there was a lot of tight spaces. So I know when we were filming in the bathroom, that was a little tight. But then we were also in the bedroom filming a couple scenes. We had to make it seem like she was getting ready for the day or going to sleep. And that was one of the first scenes that we shot. So it was the crew getting used to each other. And, it's very important that people start feeling comfortable with each other. That's why it's important for me to work with folks that I like, because you're going to be in close proximity with each other and you're going to be giving instructions to each other very fast. And because of that, sometimes it can seem like you're yelling, but you're not. So we started in the bedroom. That was cool. One of the most difficult things was that was the first time that I had to do a day for night scene. So we're filming in the middle of the day, but we had to make it look like night for her nighttime routine before she went to sleep. So the way that we set it up is we pretty much used a 4x4 floppy and blocked out the windows that showed available light. And we closed all the doors, and we've changed all of our lighting to tungsten. We changed our cameras to match that. And it looked like night. Like, you couldn't tell me that we weren't actually in the night scene. I think the thing that I might have done different in the future was, for the windows that we do see, is to make a fake extended window so that we can put the look of a moonlight or something in there, like when you looked at the window, you can tell something was on it. Now, we didn't focus on it, so it was okay. It would be good if we could have put something inside of that window so it can make it seem like there was some space in between there. Okay.
Roll 6, scene 102, 1B, take 1.
Clockwise slightly. There. All right, let me put your wrist up. You're gonna need to clear this. That was my first time working with Kalisa Marie. It's important to meet the talent. I'm not saying you need to be best friends with them, but you're going to be working in close proximity, and it's important that you all can dialogue. While they'll be getting 98% of their instruction from the producers and the directors, there will be times when the DP needs to talk to the talent for some reason. And so it's important for you to build that rapport at the beginning so that if you do need to speak to him or her, that you can. So I always like to introduce myself to the talent, just find out who they are. It makes it much easier later on. And Khalees was great to work with. And the great thing about it is I ended up working with her on several other projects in the future. And so it made it a lot easier moving forward because we built that rapport early on that project.
Same day, different day. If I'm getting paid, then you know I'm on the way. Pushing PCH, crib feeling like a cage. TVs in the whip and they playing Soul Train, yeah.
Roll 12, scene 102, for A, take 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let us settle everyone.
One of the next scenes that we filmed was in the living room. And we had several different things in there. We had to do some close-ups of her creating a card because it was Christmas time. But we also had to make it seem like it was during the winter. To make that work, a lot of that was the set designer and what she had to do. But the other thing that we utilized, and this is the second time I've seen it used, but we used the power of mirrors to light the room. And if you get a nice sunny day like you can in Southern California and you can get the right angle and you have these different mirror sets that gaffers have, it can be more powerful than any light that you use. And so you can see in some of the photos, we positioned the mirror so that we could shoot it up into the ceiling and it can light the whole room up. And what that does is it makes it so you don't have to have lighting equipment in the room and you can light it from the outside so it looks a little bit more natural.
Alrighty, we are roll 8, scene 101, 5A, take 1.
We also did a lot of filming in the kitchen. We had to ND the window behind her twice because it was just really bright back there. And then we filmed all of our scenes in the kitchen. And so we utilized the Dana Dolly as the wide shot, which I operated, and then Crystal had the B cam, which was on an easy rig or tripod, and she was getting all the close detailed shots. Utilizing my experience from the Mad Good Food project that I just did with Taste Made, I knew how we needed to capture it so that the editor could cut it up in different ways. And that's why I think it's very important for people to understand how editors think. I only say that because I started as one. That coverage allows them to make your footage look better. When we're doing the kitchen stuff, making sure we're getting that wide shot, but then getting a shot where our second camera is over the shoulder of our talent and getting those close details, seeing the hands and seeing the food being prepared really makes a big difference.
We are on roll 2, scene 106, 2B, take 1.
Out of all the scenes, I think some of my favorite was what we got to do outside. It had a beautiful backyard. And so we did some yoga back there. She did some meditation, and we got to utilize the backyard in several different capacities. And sometimes filming outside scares me because you have less control. Obviously with sound, with light, you know that it is going up or going down at that point, or it's too harsh because it's up above. The outdoor filming ended up being some of our best, I think, especially when we had to light the backyard as if it was like a dinner party. We got it had to be like a 20 by 20 silk ultra bounce. No way that was a 12 by 12. It had to be huge. I don't know what size it was. But we put 2 cream source vortexes. Vortex cream source, I always mix them up because I don't use that light as much. And we bounced it into it, and it just had a nice soft light, and that looked amazing. And then we had the Dana Dolly for the C300 Mark III on 2 Apple boxes. It was a good look. I really enjoyed that project because I got to work with a crew in the same location for multiple days, and everybody got to know each other. I worked with several of those people many more times while I was living in LA, so that was a great experience. The thing that was great about this project, it allowed me to utilize my skills with the camera on the tripod, handheld, easy rig, and on the Dana Dolly. that was an example of a great shoot where things can get done fast if you have the right crew. You know, one of the things that I share with the people that I work with is I don't know everything. You're here because I also want to utilize your experience and your knowledge, and you may know more than me, but let's work together so that we can get this done and make a great product. I have worked on projects where people want to have a contest on who knows more, and it's just like, that's not what this is for. That's not the goal of this type of project. And so I learned a lot, and I experienced a lot, and I got to utilize my skill a lot. So shout out to the producers who brought me onto that project. It was fantastic. Can't wait to do another one with you in the future. And overall, this was a great opportunity for me to partner with this production company. I had a good time.
You know we don't play, stay out the way. Check out this look on my face. I'll come save the day. Give me my cape. Look at I'm flying away. 5-star cream of the crop. Go and make spot. Go and put the cherry on top. This one can't be stopped. Giving them shock. It's really like that. Don't believe me, just watch.
Hi, I'm Eric Shields. I'm the tape man. Camera